Ladies and gentlemen, some of you may be surprised to hear this, but Guild Wars 2 is fun again.
It's time to play some stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jay, aka MultimediaJay. Welcome to Guild Wars 2 Heart of Fire, the open desert environments of the Crystal Desert here in Guild Wars 2. A game that I've had since launch, and myself and Guild Wars, we go all the way back to the very, very beginning, when it was the anti-MMO, responding to MMOs at the time like EverQuest, and now Guild Wars 2 responded to, of course, World of Warcraft. I've had Guild Wars 2 since the beginning, and I've picked up all the expansions. But one of the things that I noticed with Heart of Thorns was just how insanely tedious it was in that jungle. It looks like ArenaNet might have taken some folks' feedback to heart, because we've got wide open desert spaces for the Crystal Desert for Path of Fire and Living World Season 4. It is Season 4, right? I am playing some catch-up here with Mr. Goodmain. And let's see, Story Journal? Yep, Season 4. I've just been playing some catch-up on some things here. It looks like ArenaNet actually has really improved Living World, because I remember when Flame and Frost first came out, and it was just a couple extra NPCs and some zones, and it didn't really feel like much of a content release. But nowadays, there are Living World updates that can bring new land masses, new areas, the works, and then of course new expansions like Path of Fire can bring things like mounts. All we need now is for ArenaNet to get this game off of DirectX 9. Yeah, unfortunately this game does not run very well, even on Monolith. Basically, the aesthetic is painterly and stuff like that, but this system gets me 1080-60 in a lot of games. This is one of the few 1080-30 games that I actually tolerate, so yeah, but I turn up some eye candy on this, and of course the developers have gone over the threading and everything, and a lot of the threading is based on, a lot of the threading issues come from the CPU usage in the game and how the CPU is utilized. Well, or at least how the mathematics are done, because that Skylake chip is absolutely snoring at this, and fun stuff like that. So yeah, it looks like a painting, but hey, it's Guild Wars. It's the anti-MMO, there are no subscription fees, there's microtransactions, but it's basically you buy it, you got it.
Those drakes are eating all the fish!
I see plenty of fish there, buddy. So what exactly are we doing? Well, we're showing off the mount system. Now, Guild Wars 2 has been the anti-MMO for a long time, so whenever they wanted to implement a traditional MMO feature, they wanted to put their own little twist on it, and mounts were no exception. We're basically riding this Stingray thing. It's actually called a skimmer, but it's kind of like a speedboat mount in this game. You can mount it from in the water, and you're actually faster over water than you are on land, and the feeling of it is very, very floaty and drifty and stuff like that. Really, really fun stuff. Especially when you go to a zone and you're like, where are the rivers? Because I can be so fast on those. So, got Monolith running this, and NVIDIA Shadowplay crunching everything. We can hit close to 60 FPS in some zones. It's just I'm an Amnoon. Those of you that played the original Guild Wars may remember the Amnoon Oasis and, Mastery Point. Did I get that one yet? Yeah, that's right, folks. This is a game for completionists and people who want to live another life, although there are some goofball things that are missing, like being able to sit in chairs and stuff and interact with the environment. Elder Scrolls Online is a bit better for a little bit more role-playing in an MMO, but I'd say just get Skyrim and mod the living daylights out of it. Maybe you need the Griffin mount for that. Let's get back to land and let's demonstrate these mounts and just how ArenaNet put their own spin on things. So ArenaNet decided when they wanted to put mounts in the game, they weren't just going to put in, you're faster and you have a different animation. The mounts in this game, like the Raptor here, I've got all of the Awakened skins for these mounts, but you've got a Raptor, you have a cross between a bunny and a kangaroo called a Springer, you've got the Stingray floaty thing, like the skimmer, there's also a Sand Jackal, which can teleport and warp through walls and stuff. And then there's the Griffin, the elite mount, which kind of sort of flies. Living World Season 4 rolled out the Roller Beetle, which I'm currently working on getting. But even just with the Raptor, the very first mount that you get at the very, very beginning of the expansion, you notice very, very quickly that ArenaNet wanted this to really kind of have the physics of riding an animal, so to speak. The whole horseback type thingy, but I don't think horses do this. That's right. Each of the abilities, each of these mounts has their own special ability. I mentioned the teleporting sand jackal earlier. The raptor is the long jumper. I don't know if whoever made this decided they watched too much Jurassic Park or something like that, but the whole jumping raptors thing. But raptors are used to jump across gaps. Now the fun part is, unless mounts are disabled, you can actually take these back to the old world and actually have fun in the old zones with this too. All mounts, of course, speed you up. So let's get down to... Oh, there goes the roller beetle. That just came out with Living World Season 4. I'm working on getting that. But here's your dull, boring, I'm on foot speed. And mount up. And things speed up. I see people on the raptors on the ground usually just abusing living daylights out of the advanced version with masteries of the jump abilities, because you do seem to be going a little bit faster. Let's check out, of course, our... I shrunk the UI, darn it! Let's check out the Springer. Jerry! No, not that one. Yeah, a little kangaroo rabbit type thing. Your mounts are dyeable, just like armor, too, so I'm kind of doing the whole blue and gold theme and stuff, although folks who are fans of ice cream, yeah, the blue bunny thing. Anyways, this is the Super Mario mount, so to speak, because boing! Jumping up cliff sides, and it takes less fall damage. This is the mount that you're encouraged to platform on, or jump over walls, or what have you, and things like that. It doesn't feel as fast as the Raptor because of the animations higher off the ground, and of course there's no turbo forward jump. But if you want to clear a wall or something, or jump up the side of a cliff or something like that. Now, next up would be the Skimmer, which you've already seen. It's basically your hovercraft speedboaty type thing. But the special move lifts it up in the air, so it can float over rocks and small obstacles and stuff, and it descends at a slower speed. And because this is all floaty and stuff, you don't take fall damage on the Skimmer. I kind of like this one the best, because it has the whole cruising type thing going on there. You're just cruising around the world, and it kind of sort of skids and things like that. And of course, being faster on water. I have not unlocked the Griffin or the Roller Beetle yet, so we'll get back to that. We'll revisit that later on when we do. And the Jackal. I just got this one today out in the Desolation. For those of you who've played Guild Wars Nightfall might be familiar with where some of these zones are. But, yeah, woof, woof, woof. Although the Awakened skin for this mount makes him look like a jackal. But you'll notice he's got like a kind of a sand dirt type thing. Well, that's the lore behind these creatures, that they're created via animated sand. They're basically animated sand creatures that would be pure evil if they weren't tamed, so to speak. There's more lore in-game, but of course, in mid-air, you can just blink forward like that. Cha-ching! Use the endurance that way. And of course, there's also little sand portal things that I gotta unlock as well. Definitely the most evil-looking of the mounts anyways. And that's basically it for now. I'll check back in when I get the Griffin. And what were we doing anyways? We need the Raptor mount. Yeah, they also have idle animations too. Like the Raptor might get all like rodeo-ish on you if you just stand around too long. Now, I wanted to go get some hero points for the new Firebrand, the Firebrand Prestige class? No, Specialization. The Elite Specialization, that's what it is. So I gotta head out here to the Immaculate Fringe. So you might run into some branded out there. Yeah, so this is the Crystal Desert. Relative to the rest of Tyria, we're way the heck over here. And of course, you've got Kralkatorrik and the branded to deal with in some of these zones, as evidenced by all this purple stuff and in that crater right there. You may, this is Alona, of course. You've got various areas that, what's that? I haven't unlocked that yet. Oh, no, it's not there yet. I think Korna shows up at some point, but I'm going through the newest Living World season. But a lot of these areas are zones that were in the original Guild Wars. So, like going out finding Glint's Lair in the Crystal Desert and things like that. Augury Rock is in here as well, over in the Ellen Riverlands and things like that. Of course, this game does take place hundreds of years later. So, alright, enough playing with the map. We've got a hero point to go get. Alright, let's get trained up here under the masteries. Ready to train Volatile Magic Resonance. Finally, there's little floaty magic ball things that'll explode and knock you back. That'll explode and knock you back if you hit them when you're not trained. I've already kind of one-shotted myself by having the Springer jump into one of those, and then I get shot back down to the ground and get slammed to death from the fall damage. Alright, so let's work on bolster allies. We want to get the shifting sands unlocked for the jackal mounts. The fun part about mastery is that mastery is account based, so I can switch to alts, bring them through the content, and level everything all like this. You know, level everything all at once. The hero points are specific by character. Oh yes, guess who forgot to put his phone on mute? Wait a minute. Nope, that goes into the next zone, I believe. We want to go to, over here, Immaculate Forge, from this Temple of Korna. There's another roller beetle. Obviously, people are having a lot of fun with that thing. I've got to go get one. I'm guessing it's the fastest ground mount now that, you know... Yeah, I'll still do the raptor jumping one last time. Now here's where the canyon jumping comes in handy, because all of the abilities of these mounts can be upgraded via mastery points. So there are some things like that where I can jump over and stuff like that. Oops! Well, I guess we actually got to fight stuff now. And I get stunned to death. Now, I was hoping I could jump over that trap. So that's another difference, is there's no random number generator dismount system in this game. Symbols, heal this dude, come on. That is the Forged, which is Balthazar's troops, the main villain of Path of Fire. Let's see here. Yeah, whatever. You served a crazy war god. Alright, let's see here. Forged Foothold. I made a wrong turn. So, whether or not I could have jumped over that spike trap was irrelevant. Oh, brother. You can... Wanna bet? I gear for toughness, even though you really should gear for damage when you're out in the open world. That's some other reasons why. Make my nice little getaway there with the old glider from Heart of Thorns. Now, I'm gonna take it. Really? Oh, Forge Hook Head. It's like the hook shot from Zelda in monster form. As soon as I take out the trash here. Or trash mobs. Red line attacks are returning from Heart of Thorns. You stand on the red line, you take mega damage. Alright. Boing! I think you need the Springer to get to this thing anyway, so... I thought it was one of those raptor things. There's a lot of... Oh yeah, I remember this one. This was a jumping puzzle. I did this under the character earlier. So this big half-exploded pyramid. Let's see here. Whee! It's almost like the wall jumping in World of Warcraft before that glitch was fixed. The interesting part is that, much like the motorcycle mount in early Wrath of the Lich King back in those days, the mounts have their own health bar, and ArenaNet decided to make it, to encourage exploration and stuff, by having it so that even if you totally kill your mount from fall damage, you can just push the button and, make them come back. So. Oh yeah, big jumping puzzle for the Springer. I'm sure folks with a Griffin mount could get this. Yeah, the Raptor's jump would not work with something like this. But I think once you get high enough, yeah, like right here, it becomes a path, and you just gotta not get struck by purple lightning. There. You do not have access to your glider when you're on a mount, so that makes the jumping part of it kind of tricky. Actually, you know what? Let's do this on foot. So I do have the glider, so I can kind of long jump-ish some stuff. I did this on a mount last time, but there we are. Power emanates from the stone surrounding you. It's not the brand, but something much older. Yeah, Kralkatorek, the purple lightning dragon, plays a role in some of this stuff. And if we scoot on over here on our way out of this place, that sand portal right there is one of the jackal portals. That's one of the things that you would teleport through and things like that. But I'm just, I kind of did things the hard way, but I'm just going to float on out of here. You can only do that a certain amount of time, but if you hit the space bar and whatnot and kind of toggle the endurance thing, I don't know if this is going to get patched out or anything, but you can't control the character unless the thing is completely, the thing completely has its wings open. So, oh no, the Hydra. Keep moving. Those things are just as annoying in Guild Wars 2 as they were in Guild Wars 1. So, we got ourselves some hero points. In the expansions, well, in the original Guild Wars 2, when you're going out with alts to do your world completion and stuff, the hero challenges give you 1 point, and in all the expansions they give you 10, so it makes for a good catch-up mechanic. Although, if you use an instant level doohickey, you get a lot of points right off the bat. So, good stuff, good stuff. Let's just stick the landing here and move on to bigger and better things. There goes another player with one of those roller beetles. I've got to get one of those things. Alright, so we got the hero points. Let's head over to Firebrand and let's train the next one, Unrelenting Criticism. Not really too big of a fan of the Firebrand specialization for the Guardian, but I'm just filling it out just for the heck of it. You know, you can't really do anything else with the points. This is Queensdale. Brought over the skimmer mount. Of course, I remember the battle days right after launch when that wheel spun the wrong way. So we're gonna go do some speedboating here and crash into a bridge. No, we're gonna float right over it. There's no fall damage on this mount, and it's faster over water. So basically, when you get to a zone and see that it has rivers, you can basically go speedboating like this. This is awesome, you know, it really kind of adds a whole new whatever to the zones, although there are invisible walls and stuff like that, so it's not like I could jump on the Springer mount, jump over the top of the dam, and then, to jump over the dam and then, go into no man's land or anything. There are invisible walls, and there are even some sections of the old world where you'll hit an invisible wall long before the edge of the scenery, so it's not totally, like an Elder Scrolls game or anything, but even Elder Scrolls isn't as open as it could be without ESO is and whatnot. So there's a old heart quest. I got 100% completion in the regular. What am I doing? I'm hovercrafting on land. Still love the pre-searing Ascalon background music that's in this zone. Whee! Now we're having some fun. It's even more fun in a zone with a lot of beaches and stuff. Just scoot on up the river, and this mount is basically like an RPG speedboat. No, really, you just want to get back on water so you can do some more zipping around. Now, if only there was fishing in this game. Here we go. Of course, you'd have the weird noises from the monster being what it is. That's the thing, too, you get into this game and you've run into these new physics and whatnot for, these mounts, and the first thing you want to do is just, in the case of the skimmer, once you realize it basically is a speedboat, just go up and down the rivers, do some drifting, do some spinning around, maybe do some donuts, get yourself dizzy. There's no first-person view on the mounts, unfortunately. Okay, enough of that. So what's next, ArenaNet? Is there going to be fishing or something where you can just take the boat out to the lake? But that's a whole new dynamic when you can go back to old zones or go to zones where you need to do 100% completion, and you're like, hey, I've got the skimmer now, so I can just scoot along the rivers, or I've got the Springer, I can jump over a mountain and not have to go around it. No, or I can just do some cliff jumping / rock climbing or something like that. Yeah, I really like how the mounts were implemented. Actually, I like how the mounts were implemented better than how gliders were implemented in Heart of Thorns. There's just a lot of things that just appear to be lessons learned from Heart of Thorns with Path of Fire. And for those of you that caught in the beginning that I called this Heart of Fire, oops! Anyways, that's enough joyriding around on mounts for now. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by, and game on!
Want to support the wackiness? Visit patreon.com/multimediajay.